Let me borrow. Brady, can I borrow? Okay. So before we get into some of our submissions from the back, and then also more importantly for this class is defending kind of our back and submissions from the back, we're just going to review what we call getting our hooks in, right? So my partner is in the turtle position. You can see for this position, he's keeping his knees nice and wide, right? And the elbows are underneath those shoulders, so that way those elbows are acting like a frame, right? He's got the elbows on the inside of the knees to kind of help close this space off. So it's going to be important for us to start with our chest on their back behind my opponent, right? My goal is always to be using my hands for this inside wrist control. When I'm behind my opponent and I do not have any hooks in, I don't want to get excited and go for a seatbelt, especially here. He could just raise his hips up to the sky. It's very easy for me to lose position. So when I'm directly behind my opponent, I should be focused on covering those hips because I want him sitting on those heels. It's hard for him to replace his guard. I'm looking for inside wrist control so I can be opening these elbows up, almost like I'm riding a motorcycle, curling my wrist forward to open that up. That's going to help me place my knee in there. A principle that I always use for this is small wedges make room for bigger wedges. You see, I can get my wrist control first, then my knee's going in there. Once I have my knee in there, we're going to replace that wrist control with a seatbelt grip. So you can see I have all my weights getting really heavy on the Braden's right side. That goal is to create like a big pivot point here that he can't get his elbow off the mat, and I'm going to drive that shoulder down. So when I get my seatbelt grip, it's nice and tight back here. I'm using my foot to start driving him down to the ground. I'm making just enough space for my bottom hook to go first. Right? My goal here should be making sure that his arm, or excuse me, his head is on top of my arm. My arm is acting like a pillow. I should be getting ear to ear, nice and tight right here. I can let that back. If you guys are having trouble getting your second hook in, we can always plant that foot, and that goal for that is to help us shrimp up the back so that we can finish with our hooks in nice and tight. We don't want to cross the legs. We can be susceptible to that straight ankle lock. That's legal at white belt and up, so let's make sure those heels are nice and tight. So we go back to our partner. All right, working chest heavy. Always want that inside wrist control first because these small wedges right here help me open that up and make room for that bigger wedge, which is going to be my knee. Now I'm going to get my seatbelt grip nice and tight. I should almost feed this elbow. I'm pushing the elbow deep so that way I can have good control. I'm loading all this weight on that left side, driving him over, get my first hook in. If I'm having trouble with my second, I'm planting my foot and shrimping up his back to help me get this second hook. So let's finish our warm-up with that transition, getting our hooks in from the turtle position. Then we're going to start talking about some attacks and some defense from there. Any questions? Let's go hands up. 1, 2, 3. So let's swap your arms, Felicia. So see how your right knee is in there. So that means the right arm is kind of over. Okay. Can you let's think about that elbow like driving it more towards your center line. So almost like your hands are over. Yeah, that's nice and tight. Yep. Okay. So what your goal is now, you're going to stay really tight. I want you to drive and get your right shoulder on the mat right over here. You're kind of pulling Andre. Yeah, there you go. The right leg is first. Yep, wedge it through there. 1. Now that second hook, good shrimp right there. Nice. And that goal, you should feel like your hips are, there you go, right behind her hips. Your right ear is to her ear. Nice job. You're like a little backpack. Great work. Andre, you want to try it? Good job, Felicia. That was it. All right. So much Felicia's and turtle. We'll go knees nice and wide here because you want that wider base. And then this is kind of that space that we're talking about. So if you bring your elbows underneath there, right? Slide your elbows, touch the inside of your thigh. Like see how I'm making, look at mine, see how I almost make this diamond position with my fingers and my toes. That's kind of like what you're thinking about doing. So start with your sternum, your chest up here. Start with that like right here on our belt, right? Now, there's some space right here. Before you did that, did you see the space between our armpit and our knee right here? Like that's the space that we're trying to get our knees into, right? And that's what we call crack the egg. So slide your knee just into the little space and pick it up and kind of just push it through that space. Yeah, to kind of open it up. There you go, yeah, see that? Exactly. It opened that elbow away. Now this left arm is gonna go over her shoulder really deep, yeah. So we wanna get a really solid grip by pushing this elbow. See how I drop that shoulder a little bit, good. The right hand is behind. Good. Did you connect your hands in there? Like if you can. Yeah, reach and grab like your own wrist. That's one of my favorite ways. You pull tight. Can you post your right foot behind Felicia's hips? Yes, because this is a push foot. You can use this. You got to hug onto her really tight, and I want you to push and drive this left shoulder to the mat. Ready? Push this way. Push. Yes. Now get that left hook in first. Let's go left one. Yeah, there it is. Now I want you to shrimp a couple times. 1, 2, do it a couple times. There you go. One more big push. Nice. Now get that right leg over. Good. The heels come in really tight. We don't have to cross the legs. Yeah, heels in tight. 1, 2. Yep. She's got the pillow, and then your ear to ear. Nice job, ladies. Nice job.
The only thing you have to do for a ring is just start going over my elbow.
Just a couple minutes on this, and we're going to move on. Nice, Doug. See how they get him back to that left side. See how free is, because here's what we would talk about is like now you have him in that pillow, right? If we kind of pull him over to that side again, pull him over to this side, right? He's got his feet. If he can get his head to the mat, we're starting to, see how we're starting to kind of lose that position. So, right, the way you could stop that is your head would be the pillow. Right? So kind of bring, if you fall on that side, bring him to me again and keep your left ear to his ear. And so if you fall on this side now, can you put that head to the mat, Randy?
It's a lot harder.
See how you're using that head to kind of chalk and block that space right there. If you find yourself here. Nice. There it is. See how you've gotten like your hips nice and square to his back? And you feel his shoulders nice and square to your chest? Ultimately, like, that's where we want to kind of get to. If you are on there and you feel like you're kind of rotate a little bit, that's where we want to finish up. Yep.
I feel like
One more minute. What's up? That's okay, man. How are you? How's soccer?
Ansel or baseball. Show them that Ansel.
Okay, time. Let's grab a quick sip of water if we need it. Hands up. 1, 2, 3. Nobody needs water? Not that hot? All right, guys. So now as we start to shift into escaping the back, it's important to kind of always put ourselves in context. You know, those of you guys that are starting jiu-jitsu, starting grappling, we have to realize that having your back taken is one of the worst positions you can have in all combat sports, right? Striking, grappling, doesn't matter. If an opponent is behind you, right, that is bad. You should always be focusing on facing your problems. That's what I want you guys to think about today as we're escaping the back, is when you're trying to figure out which way do I go? Do I turn left? Do I turn right? You have to put yourself in that position. You have to orientate yourself and say, I always need to turn into where my opponent is at. That is that goal. Let's kind of reinforce that with a little bit of a transition drill here. And Moody, can I borrow you? So to help us reinforce that principle of always making sure that I'm facing my problems, right? I'm going to be in this bottom turtle position. My partner is on top, right? And what he's going to do, like a wrestler spin, he's going to do his wrestler spin to the back. Go nice and slow. Yep. So you see how, right? He's trying to get all the way behind me. That's even worse. I cannot see him anymore. So go back in front for me. I have to use my feel here. I'm in a solid turtle position, meaning my knees are on the mat. I could be moving my feet if I need to. I can stay mobile down here. And I'm not just like shelling up and hiding to where I can't move and I can't see. My hands are up. So as I see him circling to that side, my leg is going back. You see how I'm kicking with my toes up. What that's going to allow me to do is start laying back. I throw my back to the mat, making sure that my frames are replacing me as soon as I get out of the way. You see how that kind of makes Hamoudi fall over, and now, as he's falling, I'm using that to close my guard. So you're effectively going to be taking that structure away from them, right? He's in turtle position. He starts to spin. My legs go back, and I'm sitting back, right, to replace my guard, making sure that we are putting those frames in between me and him. One more time for me, please. So I'm tracking him. As he's going, my arm can be going up. My leg is going back. If he beats me behind the leg, go. I don't want to put my legs behind. Go back. I don't want to put my legs all the way in between. Step over my leg. Yep. If I put my legs all the way in between, he's going to up and mount or taking my back. Shuffle around. So as he's spinning, legs go back. Take away that structure for him. If your legs are getting stuck, see how we're turning those legs out to help us close that guard. So let's work on replacing our guard from that turtle position. Does anyone have any questions? Hands up. 1, 2, 3. you remember this one? A little bit, yeah? Just a little. And now we get to kind of like remember just a little bit more. Every time we do something around here, it's like it feels like a ton of information, right? Does it? Yeah. No? I can't. Yes? No? How do you feel? Does it feel like it's super easy to understand, or is it like right now it's like a lot of stuff at one time? So, yeah, right? And then every time when we start to see these things again, you're like, okay, your body's gonna start remembering. You wanna do it first? Yeah? You wanna see that transition again that I want you to do? Yeah? So, you wanna show me turtle position? So, we're here, right? And you can still see me right here, right? And so even keep your head up as much as you can. Like your head's gonna, yeah, it kind of like runs into my chest right there. But always keeping that neck up is kind of important. We have our elbows on the mat, and so that way we can bring our hands up. Because if you start feeling me like trying to mess around with your lapel right here, like, yeah, you got to be like, like, don't touch my neck, don't touch my lapels. And then I get kind of excited. I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore because you're defending the neck. So I start to spin. Yeah, leg goes back. Now sit back, get this frame in between. Yeah, now pull me into guard. Exactly. Nice shot. Want to try it again? So there's things that we're kind of developing. We're trying to develop reactions, right? And that reaction automatic. We don't want to have to think about it anymore because if we think about it, too much time is going by. You ready? Heavy. We're protecting those lapels. Yeah. Nice touch. Shuffle. Nice job.
Yeah, but I mean, that's picture.
Ready? See how I'm not using my elbows to frame on her. I'm just using that kind of chest right here. So I put the weight on her, shuffle. Yep. Nice job. You want to knee for on top? For bottom, you're gonna be framing, right? Framing is what helps us protect space. Remember that watch TV position here, right? Show me that position again. Remember that? So remember when I was kind of like leaning into you right here, right? That's what you're going to be doing with the arms, except it's going to be like my chest and torso. You ready? You want to try it? And even in these, we can like practice some solo too. I could be in that turtle position. I can kick that leg back and then just sit right here and see how I'm always keeping that frame up there nice and tall. You want to try it? Ready? From here, let's sit to our hip. So bring the leg straight back.
I'm pretty comfortable.
Yep, now sit to that left hip like you're facing Felicia. Yes, and then right there, we're just gonna lay it back. And you're gonna close your guard. You ready to try it? Okay, let's go. Turtle position. Remember, so I'm gonna have some weight here too, right? See how I'm kind of on you? And as I start to move to this side, this leg goes back. Yeah, now see this arm right here? Frame the hips right there. Yes, now lay back. Look at that, and I kind of see how I follow you. Because that frame was holding what?
Yeah, they don't get past.
Yeah, my weight. And so if that frame is holding the weight, right? If you want to lean on my frame right here, like put all your weight on it. She's trying to collapse that frame all of a sudden. Feel how you kind of fell forward, right? That's the goal, is because that person is always going to have forward drive on you. They're going to be pushing, and it's going to be heavy. So as we turn to face, we establish our, what was this right here? Yeah, establish those frames. We have to own that space in between you and the person on top. Because it doesn't matter like what technique we have, how fast, how strong you are. If we can't maintain some space and at least kind of control it, then it's hard to kind of do anything from there. Does that make sense? Keep working, ladies. Good job.
Right. That's it. Although y'all have had something.
We had like I was at like a IBJJF rule seminar like years ago in Atlanta, and like there was a question that kind of came up around this, so that like they grabbed me and like one other guy, and the dude spun around so fast on my back, and, like I spun around super quick too. The whole room started laughing at us. They're like, "Slow down, guys! Like you guys slow, we're not competing." But it was like I was like, "Dude, this dude's trying to go on my back." I had to replace my guard so fast. Whole room's just looking, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, guys, relax." Yeah. I mean, it was some weird situation, like passing guard, the guy turtles and the guy pulls. Like, yeah, like what happens there, you know?
Like trying to explain base.
Yeah, and me and this guy were like moving super fast. 45 seconds. 45 seconds. How's it feeling, guys? Making sense?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Yeah. Kind of understanding what those frames are kind of there for, right? All of a sudden you feel like they're disappearing underneath you, right? Good. Yep. Throw that back to the mat. And see how, yeah, at least having, we want to start getting that knee out of there too. Yes, right there. Bring that, yes. To close that full guard right there. Exactly. Yep. See, it's all in those, that hip, yes. Once it, and that heel coming in is what pulls it out because I'm here. See how that's tight? Turn. Rip that heel out. Don't rip the heel. We don't rip things, right? Bring your heel to your butt. There you go, and then it'll wrap around like that. All right, guys, let's grab a sip of water. Hands up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, guys. So we're going to move forward to what we consider the gummy bear position, right? I'm sitting down. My legs are out in front of me, which means I don't have my legs. This is not the best position for me to try and get back up to my feet, but this is going to make sense when we start using our hips and our legs to start stripping these hooks. So I'm in a pretty bad position here. My partner's going to have both hooks in, and he's going to have that seatbelt grip control. Right now, in the very beginning here, it's going to be important if I'm going to be successful in stopping, right, the submissions. I got to always be focused on intercepting the grips. The arm that is over my top shoulder should be, right, my first concern because this is the choking arm. Right? If he takes his left arm out and replaces that over, right, because we start grip fighting, then I got to always think about that I'm swapping to the other arm. So whatever arm is over my shoulder, I should always be focusing on intercepting it and stopping it from going across the center line, meaning if he starts to get this elbow across the center line, he's setting up rear naked choke, or even if he's just trying to get this hand across the center line, he's setting up his lapel chokes. All right, so it's important, right? You want to think about interception, 2 hands on 1. I like to get what's called like that power C grip, or also should remind you like I'm grabbing onto this baseball, so that way I can frame that out. Since my hands are busy, it's important that I'm using my legs right here. I can start to scoot away from my partner by driving my heels in the mat, and I'm scooting my hips forward. What that's going to be doing to your partners, you'll feel that hook lightening up a little bit. I'm turning into my partner so that way I can get my head to the mat. When I'm able to force that head to the mat, get my shoulders to the mat, I'm using my feet and my hips. Watch Hamoudi's right leg. Try and pull that tight for me. Can you pull it tight? Yep. Watch as I walk that out. I'm moving my hips out to help me strip that hook, all while maintaining control of this arm. He can't choke me. Now it's important from here, right? I'm going to be focused on scissoring my legs and building my base. So I need to be facing my opponent. Remember we talked about that earlier in class. Which way do I go? Do I turn in or turn away? If I try to run from Hamoudi, he's just going to follow me every single time. Every time I try and run, right, he's going to follow me. But if I establish my 2-on-1, if I get my feet and my back to the mat, now it's focusing on turning and facing my partner. My hips are up so I can scissor my legs and at least finishing in the top position. Number 1 rule of grappling is be the person on top. Okay, so it's super important, especially in the beginning, that we understand the back is a dangerous position. I don't want my opponent there. If they are there, I need to always be focusing on facing them. So one more time, right? We're in this gummy bear position. Hooks in, seatbelt. See how right away I'm working on intercepting. I'm establishing good habits now through drilling. If he brings that right arm over, right, I'm going to grab a hold of it. If he takes the right arm out and replaces it with the left, guess what? I'm going to swap. I'm always staying in this crunch position, so now I can use my legs to help me scoot my hips forward and get my back to the mat. I want your partner to make sure you guys are feeling the power of this. Bring that heel in tight. Dig those heels in the mat so I can shrimp out. Elbows on the mat. Opposite foot is on the mat so I can start building my height. Scissor your legs so we can escape that position. Okay? Does anyone have any questions about escaping the back away from your opponent's elbow? Hands up. 1, 2, 3. If you had the choice, Hamoudi, would you fall towards the choking arm though? So on this one, you have the choice.
Instinctively, it's very like I always go like here, and
Which is not bad.
Yeah.
Because the next one will have Braden pull you to the choking side, and then we'll go through that escape.
Okay. So for this match, I guess you could pick. You know, in this scenario when we're like.
I want you to be a good, strong purple belt and help set the standard for the white belt. Say, hey, if you have the choice, Nate, listen, if you have the choice, fall away from the elbow. Because that, look, come over here. Look at the difference in that. Like, see his elbows right here? Right, and see all the open space over here? So that's kind of like what we're really trying to reinforce. Yeah, break it, yep. Nice. Elbow, foot. Nice job. There you go. I'll remember that. I'll remember that for you guys when you fall that side. I'll remember.
Well, now I'm not going to do it.
Now I'm not going to do it. There you go, Andrea. Yep. Back to the mat. Now I want you to face Felicia. Stay on that side. Yep. Right elbows on the mat. So see how, yeah. So put your back on the mat all the way. Use your feet to help you push. Yeah, there you go. Now, right elbow on the mat. If you got to take it out and wave hello. Your right hand. Yes. Come up on your elbow and your foot. Pick up your hips. You don't got to shrimp out all the way. Just pick your hip. Now get your knees. Get your knees. There you go. Nice job. Knee okay?
You're fine.
You'll actually just end up rotating inside of her legs. Does that make sense? Like you should end up on top of Felicia's guard.
I guess it's just because, like,
All right, so we're gummy bear here. One thing to think about here, Felicia, is like, think about always kind of like leaning forward. Because when you have that little lean, that's bringing your neck and your chest further away from Andrea. Okay, because for someone to be strong, they want to break your posture and pull you back. And you'll feel that, like, oh, it kind of tighten the core. But if you're always leaning forward, can you get a good grip on her? Go one arm over, one arm under. Yeah, that's that seat belt. Because see where are her hands locked here in this position? Right there. So if you're always leaning into that, think about you're always putting tension on those hands. That make sense? Nice job. Right? So now I want your feet kind of on the same side as her arm. Right? So kind of walk your feet to your right. Yeah. That gives you a pathway for your back. Push off your feet and put your back and your head on the mat over here. Yeah, there it is. Back and head to the mat. So go flat for me. Yeah, see how, do you feel how now, right, your hips are sitting on top of Andrea's leg. It kind of took your hook out. There's no choke here anymore, so we can let go with the right hand, wave hello, and put that elbow on the mat. Yep, build your base. Nice job. Where was that wave hello at earlier this week? Was that kind of in that turtle reversal, right? So kind of like similar thing, right? Nice job. There you go, back and head to the mat. Like force it, head to the mat. Nice. Yeah. Now come up into her guard. Nice job. And then go ahead, just close your guard, Felicia. Yeah. Nice job. Nice job. And then one thing you guys can start to do a little bit is, like, as we start to understand some of these, you can kind of hold just a little bit tighter, right? It doesn't turn into like a strength game of, like, you know, the biggest tug of war ever, but at least providing some, like, what's called like meaningful resistance, you know, right? So if I do this with you, do you want to escape again? And I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about some of this resistance. Right? So do you want to turn around for me? Because like the things that we want to kind of be aware of, right, is this, like how these, feel how my hooks are keeping my hips to your hips really tight. And then my goal is going to be to get this arm over. So feel how, like, when I'm pulling you back that way, you feel kind of what that starts to do. That it's like it's not very comfortable.
No.
So if you're always leaning far away, right? And so what you can, yeah, exactly. You're even early now. See how your feet are walking underneath my, yeah, keep going. That's like turning your shoulders right here. Now drive your back to the mat. Yes. Right? I can't choke you anymore. You can take that left, take that left hand and frame my knee now. Yep, you can let go of this and just frame the knee so that way I can't, yeah, exactly.
Yeah?
Nice job. Do one more time. And this time I'm just gonna hold just a hair tighter. Just like this. Yeah. There you go. Use those legs. Yep. Back and head to the mat. Nice. Frame the knee now. Nice job. Perfect. Nice work. Nice work. You want to try it, Andrew? I'm gonna hold on just a little tighter. Ready? Let's feel it. You can do it with me, okay? Turn this way a little bit more. Yeah. So you feel these hooks right here? Because these are what gets really tight. Feel how the heels are really tight, and then I'm getting control of your back. As I pull back, right, I want you to lean forward really far. Yes. Can you walk your feet to that side? Yeah. Now put your back to the mat. Yep, use your legs. Back and head to the mat. Nice. Now, there's no more choke there, so this hand frames my knee. Yep. Grab on it, push that. Yep. Build your base. Yep. Right elbow, left leg. Scissor your legs. Yes. Because then, look, see how I pull you into the guard? Hands on my hips, posture up, and sit back on your heels. Nice job. Whoop. Not on your butt, right? Make sure your heels are underneath you. Yeah. Nice job. That's it. We're working one more today, right? Remember I had kind of set the situation that the first option, right, as I had my back taken, I'm in a bad position, but I'm trying to incrementally work my way out, was number one is making sure that I'm intercepting those grips. However, right, as my opponent is getting a little bit more sneaky, right, he may be setting these grips. So it's important to realize, right, what submission am I facing right now? Right now I'm facing a lapel choke from the back. So it doesn't necessarily do me much good just to dig my forefingers in right here, because the Moody, even from this position, can finish the choke. Finish the lapel choke from here. See, like pulling down on the forearm doesn't really do much. What I need to focus on doing is stopping the progression of this elbow. So you can see how he's got this grip, this elbow's coming across. What I want to do is make sure I'm reaching up, grabbing the elbow, right? If I can get a hold of the elbow, or if I can get a hold of some material, right? I'm pulling nice and tight. My other hand is reaching back and I'm searching for that shoulder, because what I need to be able to do is stop this elbow from getting pulled backwards. That's how he's finishing that choke, is by this hand pulling it across really deep. So if I stop that elbow, I can help stop that choke. Right? If I have the choice, I'm falling, right, away from that choke always. My partner could put their finger out there, put that in there. So look, that tells you what side you should be falling to, right, where that space is. Always working on breaking those grips, right? Once that choke is out, I'd want to be framing the knee so I stop him from getting the mount, right? I frame that knee so I can build my base. However, now he's going to get that grip and he's going to pull me to that side. Whoop. So now, right, I'm on the side with that pillow, so it can be very difficult here. So what I want to focus on doing is same thing, is stopping the progression of the elbow. Grab the elbow, reach underneath there, grab the shoulder. This is helping me defend the choke. Right now, I got to start working these hooks out. You can put the hook there. Yep. I got to start working these hooks out. So I'm using my legs here and I'm shrimping forward to help me turn. Right? What I want to focus on doing is looking towards my partner and finding the space at the back of my head. So there's always space at my partner's elbow pits and knee pits. So what I'm doing is grabbing hold of that elbow and I'm turning my head so where the crown of my head is going to slide through this space on the elbow. Right, you guys will feel when the bicep is back there or the forearm, there's not much to go, but there's always space at the crook of that elbow. So your partner's going to get a hold of your lapel. See how he's pulling nice and tight. Elbow, shoulder. I want to look to him, and my goal, right, is to slide the back of my head outside that little space. Right, this becomes a race right here. I got to frame this knee and build my base to come out of there. So this time, partner, I want you to reach over with that seatbelt grip, get a hold of that lapel, and I want you guys to use the back of your head, right, as that wedge to clear that submission. Any questions? Let's try it. Hands up. 1, 2, 3. Thanks, sir.
Feels like my wrist is gonna explode if I hold on to it.
On that escape.
Yeah, no, like it has.
Yeah.
Like while I'm the choker, like when you were doing it to me, like I let go because my wrist was getting.
I feel like there's more than
You want to? Oh no! Oh, sorry. I just gotta make sure I don't.
So go elbow with the right hand. Reach back for the shoulder. There you go. Now, if like Braden takes you to that side, right, take you to that side, look to your right. Boom. And now you're focused on kind of getting the crown of your head towards that elbow. Boom. To get out of there.
It does feel like I'm getting.
And a lot of people are going to end up trying to go to mount from there, right? Like as you escape the back. Yeah, you know, so you're kind of looking at positional exchange versus submission, but clear that head and then expect that mount attack next. Get a deeper grip right there, Nate. Yeah, there it is. Elbow, reach back for that shoulder. Now fall to that side. See, can you finish that lapel choke from there? Just hold on to that elbow. Yeah, if you hold on to the elbow, look to your right. There it is. And keep that.
Will I be messing on the choke though?
Kind of seems like you are, but the goal is when you look to the right that way, is you're positioning the back of the head. Yeah, you're trying to there you go. That makes sense? So as long as you are stopping that choke first, right? Elbow, shoulder, then we're going to look into it. So that's going to help kind of pull that elbow off because that will put the elbow in closer position. Does that make sense? Nice. Elbow, shoulder. Can you find the lapel up there too? Anything that can stop Hamudi from pulling that elbow down to the mat. Now look, yeah. Now take that left hand and find his elbow itself. Like go underneath it a little bit more because you're going to start pushing that up. So go, yeah, right there. Look to your left more. Yeah, start pushing it up. There it is. Build the base. You're up. You're out. Nice. Elbow. Freeze. So we're going to stay go back for me a little bit. Right, and go ahead and Tim, grab a hold of, grab a hold of that lapel right there.
Like I'm in it?
Yeah, you're in it, yep. So this hand's gonna be at the elbow, Tim. Your right hand is gonna be down low. So relax, relax, relax. Right here at the elbow. Now kind of lift that elbow up and bring that right arm underneath all the way up to the shoulder. Here, like reach back, more. Find that shoulder right there. There you go. Now you're kind of pulling that like tight to you. So Tim, can you pull that elbow behind you? Yeah, like can you, yes. Right now, look to your left, Tim. Yep, and start getting your kind of hand underneath his elbow so we can start to push that off our chin. So look to your left. Yeah, keep that. There you go, pushing that up and off your chin. Stay here on the elbow, right? Turn your hand right there, and you're pushing. Yeah, at the elbow. Look to your left and push that elbow off. Do you want to see it, or do you want me to do it to you? You want me to do it to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so go to my back. He had the right arm over, right? Yep. So see how, grab the lapel. You can grab this one too. So see how I'm like stopping the elbow and here. Boom. Now I'm making sure I'm looking, turning, and taking this hand. I can take this hand, I'm pulling, and the other hand. So it's almost like I'm taking a hat off, right? I'm gonna use that crown of the head to our advantage, right? If you have like, none of you guys don't have the top knot, right? The top knot for the guys, that will get you stuck, but if, you know what I mean? Like there's no corner there, so this slides off really, to the elbow. Yeah, take that hand to the elbow to help you pop it off. One more time, Tim. Most people are right-handed, so most people will have that right hand. Yeah, there you go. That stops the choke. Nice. Now take that right elbow, or right hand. Yeah, look to your left. There you go. Yep. Push it off. Push the elbow. Peel it off your head. Yes, that was it. Nice, Tim. See how I just kind of like slid off? That was perfect. Nice. Now fall. Then you can also fall to the elbow side as well. And then slip out the back. Yep. Nice. The little frame. Because yes, and then as long as you frame that knee, the worst thing that's gonna happen. Okay, he does get up on top, but you stuff it in your half guard, right? So even if we're in like a super bad position, we're super bad here. You can start your defensive kind of sequence. Shoulder, yeah, you can. Like once your head is to the mat here, or your shoulders to the mat, you're pretty good. Yeah, now start focusing on that leg right there. Go to the leg. Yeah, because there's no more choke there. Yeah, either come up. If he beats you in that race, just focus on stuffing the half guard. Shoulders and head to the mat means no more choke. Now you just focus on making sure they don't get to mount.
So,
Yes.
the only problem he has
Kind of building, coming up on that base. Yeah. So let's work on it kind of like just in that solo kind of way, right? If we're here, Which elbow have you been waving hello with? You remember which the right elbow? So remember, I'm coming back with that right elbow and that left hand. So see how, yeah, see, go kind of lay back. Yep. You're gonna go hand to the mat, elbow and foot. Now hips up and pull that leg through. There you go, nice. All right, you wanna do that again? All right, you kind of like start here. You're gonna go hand, elbow. Can you lift your hips up here? And then pull that right leg through. Nice, now get the hips underneath you. That's it right there, yep. Nice, you wanna try it? You wanna try it with me? I'll go on your back.
You can do whatever you want.
I just figured I won't do that.
No, it's okay. It's better to ask. And then we'll get Miss Andrea comfortable asking too. So here, right? If you have the choice, Miss Andrea, which way would you prefer to fall? Would you want to go towards it? Yeah, you would want to go away from my elbow, right? So let's go 2-on-1 here. Got it. Nice. You got your power C grip. Now use your legs. Move them to that side. That's gonna get your back to the mat. Oh, now should you run from me or face me? Face. So keep facing as much as you can. Keep going. Keep going. Good. Now, do you have to hold on to this arm anymore? Yep. That one's waving. This one frames the knee right here. Good. Come up to your elbow. Post your foot. Now pull your. Look at that. That didn't look like a problem. That was good. No problems on that transition. Good job, good job, good job, ladies. Nice work, nice work. Yes, frame the knee now. Oh yeah, go. Whoa, clear the elbow. Go ahead, you got it. Clear the elbow. Nice. Now come up. Nice. Because here's what's important to think about Nate, right? If you can stop that elbow and get your head and shoulders to the mat, right? The choke's pretty much done. Head's got to be flat though, right? And so the next thing you got to look out for is you taking what transition. He's going to try to go to mount. So your kind of damage control or how you can make that the worst is once the neck is clear, focus on stuffing his leg into half guard. Does that make sense? Kind of just us talking about it. So now kind of threaten him with that too, right? Threaten him with that full mount kind of attack. But make sure that we're switching our focus. One, yep, elbow, shoulder. Looking to the left. Get that right hand underneath the elbow now. Yep. Half guard, shrimp. There you go. Or you can work your way all the way out. Okay, nice work today, everybody. Let's go ahead and line it up. We'll close out. Hands up. 1, 2, 3. We want to turn into reactions that we don't even have to think about. If someone is trying to transition around to my back, I'm always trying to face them and follow them no matter what. Right? But then also developing the ability to kind of problem solve and think through some of my situations. There's times where we just got to react and move. There's also times where we're going to start untying the knot, especially that we're in the gi. Someone's trying to apply tension on your lapels. They're trying to, shut off that circulation in your head. So we got to untie that knot, kind of use our brain for strategy and my way out, thinking about falling away from the elbow, always turning into my opponent. These are things that if we can start to make sure that we're adding into our process of drilling, when we start live training, escaping those bad positions becomes a whole lot easier. Thank you guys so much for training tonight. Have a good night. Moody, Scott, Braden, I love. Yes, sir. Tim, Felicia, Andrea, Tim, great job.